What we found when the Estancia was bought in 2002 was an ugly duckling. What you'll now see is the transformation to a beautiful swan. The land had been virtually abandoned for over 10 years, then scheduled to be planted out in giant monocultures of exotic pine trees. A virtual crime against both nature and the cultural integrity of these beautiful Correntino landscapes. Can you imagine turning these natural landscapes into giant industrial tree farms? Making vast areas like this, or like this, changing the pH in soils, and making eventual restoration long and expensive as nature heals her wounds. Old corrals were quite literally not much more than a pile of rubble. Old fields unwisely used for cultivation by prior owners were now broken plant communities, unable to keep out alien species, thus permitting and facilitating a mass invasion of ants and termites with their mounds. In a single word, the ranch was a mess. Some nearly 1,000 acres of citrus orchards had been abandoned. Then we also inherited falling down and unmaintained houses and buildings. Everything in urgent need of repair. Even the cows were in bad shape, as they were as ragtag a herd as you've ever seen. In short, there was nowhere to go but up. So we rolled up our sleeves and got to work rebuilding this broken-down wreck of a ranch. We had a first-class estancia to restore. An initial attempt was made to rescue the citrus orchards, and some progress was made in the least deteriorated sections. Some oranges did appear, but after the first year of work, we abandoned what was a hopeless fight. After this, we pulled out virtually all 1,000 acres of citrus and began the long job of restoration. It required cutting at absolute ground level each tree, salvaging firewood, piling the rest, then burning and spreading the ashes, waiting for natural reseeding on the now clean fields. A long and arduous process to put a huge mess in order. With a little help, this good red earth will speed up the recovery, resulting in good grasses for our new bull rearing program to improve the genetics of our cattle. Mechanical cutting has been required for nearly 4 years to knock out the majority of exotic grasses and weedy species. Now our bulls are happily fighting over these restored and palatable pastures. And our young bulls are brought up without feed supplements of any kind. Simultaneously, we began to eliminate the industrial monocultures of pines and eucalyptuses, planted primarily in the northeast corner of the estancia, some 800 acres. This too has been a monumental job to restore this area back to natural grassland. The job may never be perfect either, but we are beginning to see very good early signs that the restoration may be better than we had hoped. We are essentially pioneers in grassland restoration from that of industrial forestry. So we are without a lot of examples to draw on. Yet after a mere 5 years, we can tell that we are making progress. Within a few more years, we expect to see the return of healthy and natural native grasslands, and then continue to maintain them by sound grazing practices. And above all, we will have restored the beauty that was lost by the misguided idea to plant exotic, even-age industrial monocultures of pines and eucalyptuses. And as the last block of these plantations goes down, we can finally breathe a sigh of relief. And as we worked on orchards and grassland restoration, we also began to work on bridges and corrals. And we built new corrals over already impacted areas. Today we have excellent and efficient corrals, making it easier on our gauchos to look after our animals and to process smoothly a great number of cows per day. This has led to better care and to better health for our herd. Likewise, better care leads to better results in reducing calf mortality and increasing pregnancy rates, plus weight gain and general animal health. For this, we have happy cows. Meanwhile, our seemingly endless cleanup and restoration work continues. And we should remember that Añaquá is a 25,000-acre ranch. That is a lot of landscape to restore. Then we had the dilapidated infrastructure beyond fences and corrals, all of which had to be rebuilt or built new. We took down some unrepairable buildings, recycling 100%, from roofing, beams, doors, down to grinding up bricks for roads. We began by putting priority on the houses where our employees and their families needed to live. A 4-bedroom general bunkhouse for single gauchos was built, with a saddle shed and 3 large fields for daily workhorses. Añaquá was blessed once with a beautiful central ranch headquarters. Be it in summer or winter, the mature old trees and expansive views make the main house area extremely beautiful, a priceless gift of nature. With a setting and the landscaping so receptive to well-designed houses and structures, it was virtually impossible not to produce a supremely beautiful cluster of houses at the ranch's center. The main house had to be rebuilt from scratch. Today, the vines and bushes are filling out and growing in. Now that the hard work is over, the landscaping under control, the terriers are chasing those pesky moles, and the azaleas are putting down their roots to stay a while. It is a pleasure at the end of a long day to sit on the screen porch and take a break, and smell the appetizing odor of steaks and sausages on the grill. And we did not forget about the interiors either. Special attention has been taken with every detail, and lots of time devoted to fine-tuned designs and workmanship. Living, dining room, and kitchen all in one space is a modern return to conviviality in an age where cooks are out and cooking yourself is in. The office close by the kitchen for easy access to snacks. Looking around, we can see the effort made by our architect and her builders, and the attention they paid to the harmony of colors, proportion, finishing, and graphics. You could hardly help notice the preponderance of animals in pictures, sculptures, and even animals themselves that adorn our living spaces. We know that our social responsibility does not stop at mere production. We must be total stewards of all the flora and fauna of the landscapes we hold nominal title to. We see land titles as being a kind of temporary type of permit to live and work on a given piece of land. To maintain this privilege, we must be impeccable land stewards to the biotic community around us and within our control. Something, unfortunately, given the vast and massive environmental crisis, few landowners take this social duty seriously. And how does one put a ranch back together, restore past errors of bad land management and mistaken purpose? How does one manage to compatibilize production and care of wildlife, and make conservation a consequence of production? The answer is simple: people. It takes a team of capable professionals with a wide range of skills. From General Administrator Rodrigo Leconte and his leadership during the initial years, to cattle specialists and excellent mayordomo Oswaldo Benitez and Guzman Castillo and Tito Manuta, and foreman Jorge Alordo, plus capable and skilled gauchos, critical to any successful cattle ranch, usually the difference of being profitable or not. All in all, a team working to not just preserve healthy livelihoods, but preserving a long and rich cultural heritage. And with a bow to modernity, we use tractors, especially for restoration, with hopes to slowly convert to all animal traction. What ranch, one may ask, would be complete without a terrific housekeeper, Maria Elena, our savior? Tribute goes to the builder, Pipi Huguet, and his able team of skilled craftsmen. If you think that these carefully crafted interiors just pop out by themselves, well, it just ain't so. Without architect Victoria Solari working hand in hand with Diego Padilla and Pablo Murillo, it never would happen. All with recycled wood, artisan cabinet makers, and always with Diego's artistic hand and taste. And Vic's never-failing energy, good humor, charisma, and talent. And all the gardens and landscaping that adorn the houses and structures, even including the corrals, also did not happen by magic. We need to take our hat off to a fine team of landscapers headed up by Joaquin Lays. This gives you an idea of how you get a broken down and abused estancia back to health. Good people, and yes, a little bit of money and a lot of perseverance.